As the head of the executive branch and commander-in-chief, I have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect the nation's classified information, including by controlling access to it. Today, in fulfilling that responsibility, I've decided to revoke the security clearance of John Brennan, former director of the Central Intelligence Agency.
Upon hearing about Brennan's firing, real-life Benghazi hero Chris Paranto tweeted, "My principles are greater than clearances too, John, especially when you and the CIA Kool-Aid drinkers punished us for not going along with the Benghazi cover-up story in order to protect you, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama's failures. You put your policies before us." He also tweeted the next day, John McCain could also shed some light on the real reason we were in Libya as well, if someone would ask him. Hint, hint, it wasn't to overthrow Gaddafi. So now with Benghazi back in the news, I thought it would be a good time to take a look back at some of the key moments following that fateful day on September 11th, 2012. Starting with December 7th, 2012, when the House Committee on Foreign Affairs announced that Hillary would testify, quote, as early as next week. Well, exactly 1 week later, this happened.
Our hearts are broken, speaking for so many Americans today. Over 20 little children dead, more adults died after the worst shooting ever at a grade school. Here is what we know right now. The shooter, Adam Lanza, was 20 years old. He also shot his mother before coming to the school.
The next key moment was September 17th, 2014, the first hearing on Benghazi. Many people, however, didn't see it because they were following the ongoing manhunt for Eric Frayne, who had shot 2 PA state troopers only a few days prior. The manhunt lasted for 48 days.
Vladimir Dudier reports tonight police now believe Frayne did not act on impulse.
Then, on June 16th, 2015, Sidney Blumenthal indicated under oath that Hillary used her own private email server.
Breaking news, deadly church shooting, tragedy in Charleston.
The very next day, Dylan Roof murdered 9 African Americans in a Charleston, South Carolina church. Then, Julian Assange tells a British newspaper that he has the rest of the Clinton emails and is ready to release them. Later that night, Omar Mateen would shoot up a gay nightclub in Orlando.
Right now, at least 20 are dead, maybe more. The shooter also dead. Police say that he was well prepared, he was organized. They do not believe that he was from the area. More than 40 have been taken to a local hospital.
Which brings us to October 2nd, 2017. The trial for Benghazi mastermind Abu Khatallah begins, but no one even knows, and it gets almost zero coverage because less than 12 hours prior, Stephen Paddock had opened fire onto a concert in Las Vegas.
It's the deadliest mass shooting in modern United States history.
Now, while not necessarily related to Benghazi, it is also of note that on February 14, 2018, there was a shootout at the NSA headquarters when 2 men in a truck and wearing disguises attempted to infiltrate it. This also got minimal news coverage because earlier that day, Nicholas Cruz had shot up his high school in Parkland, Florida.
There are reports of injuries and what the school superintendent calls numerous fatalities.
And even stranger than that were these eyewitness accounts recorded immediately in the aftermath.
You were walking down the hall, he had already fired at that time.
Yes, sir, with him.
Weren't you scared?
In the moment I wasn't, because there was definitely another shooter involved, but...
Oh, you think he was not the only one?
No, definitely not.
Why do you say that?
Because when shots were fired, I saw him after the fact. So, and the shots were coming from the other part of the building. So there definitely had to be 2 shooters involved.
They started running to the other exits, but that's when the shooter and the other shooter started coming up. So everybody, and then I thank God to this teacher who opened up her door and like all of us.
So you think there was more than? Do you think there was more than one
There's
shooter?
3 shooters. That's what I heard. Definitely.
And then I suddenly saw the shooter about 20 feet from me, standing at the end of the hallway, actively shooting down the hallway, just a barrage of bullets. And I'm staring at him thinking, why is the police here? This is strange, because he's in full metal garb, helmet, face mask, bulletproof armor, shooting this rifle that I've never seen before. I don't know when I decided it was the right time to close the door. I grabbed the handle with both hands, and that's when I got nicked.
She got shot in the arm trying to open the door, and then the other teacher, he got shot in the head.
but he couldn't see the shooter. I had a good visual of him, which is why I yelled at him to shut his door now.
35-year-old teacher Scott Beagle among the 17 murdered on Marjorie Stoneman Douglas's campus.
We finally got out, and they started yelling at us to keep focused and to pay attention ahead, the army people, because they didn't want us to see the bodies that they hid in the corner. They were putting mats over them so we wouldn't see them.
He's in full metal garb, helmet, face mask, bulletproof armor.
The army people?
Or this witness who was caught on camera rehearsing his lines.
So we thought this was a drill too, just another one. Because we have a lot of fire alarms, a lot of fire drills at the school. After we heard the first gunshot, we initially thought it was a drill. Actually, that was a bad choice.
It's okay, you're fine.
Actually, that was a bad choice because the janitor, sorry.
It's okay, you're fine, David, you're fine.
Honestly, when I was going out, when I was going out, I was in shock.
See, I don't know how to put this in perspective. It's okay.
So most of my friends that made it out, one of them went into a bathroom in the same, I believe in the same hallway as the shooter. Oh, hold on. One of them went into the same bathroom, I believe, as the hallway shooter. He was in there at the same time, and he was in the bathroom, and he didn't know if he was going to live.
David Hogg was in school when the shooting started. His father is a retired FBI agent, so he recognized immediately that this was a gun. This wasn't a firecracker, this wasn't a drill.
After telling several news stations that he had actually been present during the shooting, and even providing a video he supposedly filmed while in hiding, he then drastically changed his story, claiming that he had heard about the shooting at home, jumped on his bike, and sped there as fast as he could.
The day of the shooting, I got my camera and got on my bike and rode as fast as I could 3 miles from my house to the school to get as much video and get as many interviews as I could, because I knew that this could not be another mass shooting.
So with all that, I asked you, how many coincidences do there have to be before it becomes statistically impossible?